Hi everyone, Remo McLean for life, and welcome back for another and the third, and of course the third movie in the franchise of James Bond, and that's now which I'm gonna talk and review. It's Goldfinger. Probably, no, to me, the best Bond of all time. Quintessential, pure badass. The best James Bond action film of all time. My personal favorite movie ever. Goldfinger is the best. I do have two Blu-rays. I have this Blu-ray and I have a Steelbook Blu-ray. Now this is actually a gift from my girlfriend a long time ago. I got it back in 2012. She bought it for me because she knew I'm a huge James Bond fan. Yes, I'm a huge James Bond fan, and I really do love this film very much. Love this movie to death. This is actually the first Bond I saw as a kid. And this has been directed by Guy Hamilton, which I think he did a great job. Probably his best direction ever. I love this movie to death. This is actually probably my second favorite James Bond ever. The first one will be movie behind me, GoldenEye. And this has been definitely my second favorite. And probably my favorite Sean Connery movie that he did. Goldfinger is the best of the best. It's better than From Russia with Love. Which I'll get to why it's the best, but this is probably the fans' favorite movie ever. I love Goldfinger to death. Love this movie to death. Guy Hamilton, best direction, better than Terence Young. And also we have I have a great cast. This movie has everything. It has great cast. Besides Sean Connery, we also do have Pussy Galore, played by Honor Blackman. Rest in peace. She passed away 2019. This is the back, which is so awesome. The back is so freaking awesome. Yeah, the back is so awesome. I love this slip cover. This slip cover is such a cool, iconic. I love this slip cover. I mean, rest in peace, Sean Connery, which is very missed as Bond. And definitely the best Bond, in my opinion. My second favorite will be You Only Live Twice. And the third one will be Dr. No, because I really think those three movies that Sean Connery did to me are the best one. But Goldfinger is my favorite because I love this movie so much. We have a cool opening sequence. The gun barrel is so cool opening in this movie. And we see Sean Connery as James Bond. He's like a diver, and beautiful music score by John Barry. He's like a diver. He goes and he knocks these guards down. He puts a detonator explosive device on this in this factory. It's also right. A steamy nightclub. It's also more a factory. And of course Sean Connery Bond goes and he fires with a gun. And he climbs off the wall. He points explosion. And he also goes and he kicks ass. He goes this shitty nightclub, which is explosion. He destroys this factory in which he puts those drug dealers out of business because they're smuggling heroin. He destroyed that plant. He destroyed that plant. Then he goes to the hotel. A CIA agent warns him, don't go to the hotel, they're waiting for you. He goes in the hotel. He sees this girl. This guy tries to kill him, and you see like a pure badass he is. This is better, the fight sequences in this movie than in From Russia with Love, because to me it was disappointing fighting sequence. This is better fight sequence than From Russia with Love. And this is just so awesome. It's so badass awesome. And of course James Bond grabs this guy on a judo kick. He throws him. He throws him the judo kick. The guy falls down. And he falls down in this bed, in this hot bed, and he he tries to grab Connery's gun, and Sean Bond grabs and throws this ventilator, this electric ventilator. He goes and electrocutes him, says shocking, very shocking. And then we have a beautiful music song um, by I think was by Shirley um mm-mm. I thought it was right in the song. I think it was Shirley Bissey. I'm not sure. I thought it was right. And well, it was a beautiful song. I think was sing by I think was sing by Shirley Bissey. I think it was think it was um um Sally, I can't remember I think fuck it, I'm going to check the song. Be right back. I'm back. It was actually Shirley Bassey. She's still alive. She recorded a song, this title, which I love that. I thought it was written. In this credits, but it's not. The reason is because I thought Shirley Eaton. They're both named are they're the same. Shirley. Yeah, that's it was Shirley Bassey who did a theme song, for Goldfinger, and next mission or next assignment for James Bond is now to watch this millionaire Auric Goldfinger, played by Gerd Frobe, rest in peace. He's a multimillionaire, but he's also psychopath and a criminal. And the CIA is actually suspecting for a while. And Bond, he gets this assignment that he always takes the gold. He always keeps changing, keeps moving gold over the world. And James Bond, the first encounter James Bond has with Goldfinger is in Miami, when we see beautiful Shirley Eaton. She's still alive. She plays Jill Masterson. And of course, Bond goes in the hotel and he sees that he always takes this guy Simmons. He takes him out in this cart. And Bond goes into hotel in Goldfinger's room, and we see the first time we see Shirley Eaton. She plays Jill Masterson, and we see we see Jill Masterson. She was dubbed by Nikki van der Zyl. She was also the coach for Gerd Frobe because he's German, she was the coach, by teaching him to speak English, and of course, Jilly, she dubbed Shirley Eaton as Jill Masterson, and this is the first time, and this is actually my favorite scene in this movie, because James Bond goes and he says, okay, Goldfinger, you're gonna start losing because if I think that police, she wouldn't like that, and he's like knocking, he's losing. And we see the first time we see Odd Job in this movie, this is actually Goldfinger's second henchman, and while James Bond, he's amusing in the hotel, he goes to the refrigerator, he's looking for a bottle, and we see Odd Job punching, and that's iconic scene I've ever seen, James Bond being knocked down in the refrigerator, and that's my favorite scene because this is an iconic scene in the cinematography ever. That's the best thing, And when James Bond wakes up, he finds Jill Masterson being murdered, and this is actually the most enduring image in cinematography history ever. She was painted all gold. That's the best scene. That scene, she was all painted gold. Even that scene, she was painted all gold. That's one of the best scenes ever. That's the most enduring cinematography in history. They don't make Bond movies, they don't make Bond movies like this anymore. They don't, Goldfinger is a quintessential, probably best Sean Connery movie. My favorite Sean Connery movie he ever did, Not just Bond, it's just my favorite, it's a pure action, And Goldfinger is definitely the best. And and of course, James Bond, he plays golf with Goldfinger, and I love that, he plays golf with him and he screws over Goldfinger while Odd Job, he tries to he found the ball, cylinder, 1, but that's actually cylinder 7, and Odd Job is like, Odd Job is like pissed, when Bond gives him balls, he like squeezes all the balls out, And I just love that. It's so iconic, I love the character played by Harold Sakata, rest in peace, as Odd Job, he was a Japanese wrestler, and I love the cool villain so much, And of course, Bond, he tracks down to Switzerland, he tracks down through the plane, he tracks down Switzerland, and this he goes and tracks down in Switzerland Goldfinger. And the first time that James Bond meets Tilly Masterson, it was actually in Switzerland, when he meets Tilly Masterson, and watch the beautiful camera, the beautiful shot, the mountains in Switzerland that they filmed, And by the way, Sean Connery, when he filmed the scenes in Miami, he wasn't in Miami. It was actually built in England, in England studios they built, But that scene was actually in Switzerland, for real, and I love that, it was so beautiful shot, and Tilly Masterson, played by Tanya Mallet, rest in peace, she passed away 2019. Tilly Masterson, she goes with her car, and we see James Bond with Aston Martin, he uses, he goes and uses gun, he uses a tire, shredding blade, because Tilly shot at him. She fired with a gun at him, but almost hit him, but she missed, and of course Bond, he lets her pass, and then he goes and uses that shredding, that blade, that gun blade, that tire blade, and he shreds her two tires, and then he drives her. And I also love that then he goes in Goldfinger's plant, Bond goes alone on Goldfinger's plant. Man, this is such a, I have to say, a cool, iconic, the most iconic, the most heroic I ever saw in cinematography, ever. Because Bond goes alone in this plant, and then he sees another person entering, and it's actually Tilly, and he finds out she's Tilly Masterson. I love Tilly Masterson. Tanya Malet's best performance, I think the most iconic is actually Shirley Eaton when she was painted in gold, the most the most enduring image in cinematic history, That's the reason, because they both have the same names, Shirley Eaton, and Shirley Bisset, or and yeah, and that's actually the thing, Basset, Shirley Basset, she did the song for Goldfinger. I love the song, Golden Finger, the test touch, gold, everything is touch, Golden Finger. I love that, I love the song, I love the movie, and he meets Tilly Masterson, and she says that she wants to kill Goldfinger, and he says, kill who? Goldfinger, he killed my sister, and Bond says, I saw your sister, she's so great, Tilly Masterson's so great, such a great iconic, she's so great character. And then they both escape, because when Bond grabs her, she actually she actually touched that wire. It was alarm, and of course Bond goes. Then of course Bond, he goes. They both go in this beautiful car, Aston Martin. They've been pursued by henchmen. And Bond, in Aston Martin, he uses, I did wrote down, he uses, he uses oil smoke, and water emitters to elude his pursuers, and of course, Bond says to Tilly, run in the woods while I'm gonna be busy. And he keeps firing at them, with his gun. And Old-Job grabs his head, Old-Job grabs his head, and he throws the head, and he kills Tilly. It was actually Odd-Job was actually Sandringham head, with a sharpened steel rim, steel rim. He's using as a little weapon in the style of Chakram, but he's using a little weapon, it's actually a sharpened steel rim, his hat, and he kills Tilly Masterson. And while Bond is driving with his car, one of Goldfinger henchmen, he uses the that button in which he throws, that gear, he used that gear in which he shows co-driver's seat out of the car, which is another iconic why this movie is such a great, because we see such a cool car, Aston Martin, Aston Martin, Martin DB5, which also has other applications, like 30 caliber machine guns, oil smoke, and the revolving license, he also uses the revolving license. And while he's escaping, from Goldfinger's property, there's this old lady with machine gun, and Bond's swan, it's like serious, and the old lady with machine gun fires at him, and I think he couldn't escape, because it wasn't bulletproof, and he also crashes then in the wall because he saw the reflect mirror of his car. He used the machine guns, but he crashed in the wall, and then he was blackout, and then we see Bond in this scene with laser. Yes, this movie uses laser, and almost Bond is ready to die, and when this laser, Bond asks, do you expect me to talk? And this is my favorite line that Goldfinger says, no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. That's my favorite scene, the best scene ever. Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. And somehow, Bond hears about Operation Grand Slam, the code name, and of course, Bond says, I'm gonna be replaced by 008, and of course, Goldfinger says maybe he's gonna be successful, and then says about Operation Grand Slam, and that time, Ulrich Goldfinger find out that Bond is more worth alive than dead, because he doesn't know if any to who Bond he said about his Operation Grand Slam, and of course they use him sleep pills, which was such a stun gun by making him sleep, by making Bond sleep in this movie, and Bond, Bond wakes up with Pussy Galore, he wakes up in the airplane, she's a pilot, Pussy Galore, she shows up, and he goes to they go into the US, I think it was in New York, or they go to the US, and with the airplane, they're traveling, and of course Bond has been in this prison, and of course Bond then meets Pussy. He keeps trying. He uses his charm on her, but doesn't work. She says she's immune to his charm. I wanted to tell you before the plot, but the truth why Pussy Galore did not give his charm was because in the Ian Fleming's novel she was a lesbian, and of course Honor Blackman stated that she only thought that she was a lesbian, that she was so long abused by Goldfinger, but she was a lesbian, and of course Ian Fleming, dedicated the character Pussy Galore to his mistress. I think was his mistress. I did wrote somewhere down. Blanche Blackwell. She passed away 2017. She was mistress of Ian Fleming, and of course the lover, a neighbor. And he dedicated the character to her, Pussy Galore. And in the book, she was a lesbian. That's why she gave a cold shoulder, but later she gave in when Bond used his beautiful charm, and of course Bond when he's the second hour he's a prisoner of Goldfinger, and he does escape from his cell the first time, while we found out that Goldfinger bring all the West Coast mobsters together, in the same room, and every them pay them, and then he goes and kills them in the gas, he kills all of them, and of course, Pussy goes on judo, throws Bond. This is the best scene. He looks like who knocks him down. It was so great. Honor Blackman's best performance. I love her character. To me, another best Bond girl. I would never say Pussy Galore is kind of better Bond girl than Honey Rider, but Ursula Andress and Honor Blackman that were both great in my opinion. I love this movie to death. So. Actually, the reason is the plot is actually Goldfinger is actually planning to blow up Fort Knox, to make profits, because he's the only one that has gold, and he wants to double profits, and he's planning. And that's Operation Grand Slam. Operation Grand Slam is actually they are planning to use the gas, by killing all the soldiers. Which they do that, they break in the Fort Knox. They break in the Fort Knox, and they go and they put a bomb in the Fort Knox, and they're planning to destroy the bomb so that Goldfinger is gonna be the only one that will get gold. He's gonna get triple his profits. He's gonna be a multimillionaire. That's that was Operation Grand Slam, and that's what they do. And we see all the soldiers in the Fort Knox, and Bond, he's been handcuffed to a bomb in the Fort Knox vault. That wasn't the real Fort Knox. It was actually built in England by the studios, but it was all built accurate, and of course the soldiers wake up, because Pussy Galore, she called them, and she wanted to be she was a criminal. She wanted to be rich, but because of James Bond, he turns her. James Bond turns her to be a good person, to be a good heart, and she helped them. She closed the gas so that they all wake up. There's a huge battle fight scenes. And I love when Goldfinger kills one of his henchmen with his gold gun, and he's wearing a soldier's uniform, and he grabs and kills 5 soldiers, and while Bond and another henchman, they are both closed in the vault, and Bond tries to somehow get all rid of the cops, and the guy tries to deactivate bomb, Oddjob throws him out and kills him, and Bond, of course, he handcuffs, he opens the handcuffs, and we have a cool fight between Bond and Oddjob. That's the best scene, the best fight, and Sean Connery did great performance. He hurt himself, he actually really did hurt himself. That fight scene, that's better executed than in From Russia with Love, and of course Bond also uses his head, as a little weapon to defend himself, and Oddjob gets serious, and Oddjob cuts one of those power lines, and Bond jumps, jumps and grabs the power line, and he electrocutes, he completely, with electroshock, he electrocutes Oddjob and kills him, and then he tries to stop the bomb while Felix Leiter and CIA agent and the soldiers kills the Goldfinger soldiers. They all now go into the vault, and one of the CIA agents stabs the bomb, because Bond couldn't do it. Then Bond's now in this airplane, he's enjoying, and he's also enjoying in this airplane, and and of course Bond, but unaware, there's Goldfinger who wants revenge on Bond, but Bond fights him. This is the third fight. We see the third fight in this movie. Bond fights him off. Goldfinger shoots and destroys the plane, because he shoots and hits the glass in the window, and he's been sucked. Goldfinger in this movie has been sucked, and Bond sees Pussy, and of course Pussy and Bond, they both jump. The airplane is explosion, but Bond jumps with a parachute, and because they're searching for Bond, Bond says there's no rescue, and they have lost scene, and the movie freaking ends. I mean, I love this movie, such a pure badass movie, such a pure badass movie. Goldfinger is a classic. It's definitely a quintessential pure badass movie ever. I love Goldfinger to death, Sean Connery's best performance, great direction. Guy Hamilton did great direction, best direction that Guy Hamilton did, better than Terrence Young. Goldfinger is a pure classic, my personal favorite Bond movie for all time. The best Bond ever. Tanya Maleta, Tilly Masterson recipes. I love her performance. Best Bond girl, definitely Tilly Masterson. Love her. Too bad she was killed off. I was kind of disappointed. I love that. Gerd Probe was iconic. William Best villain as Ulrich Goldfinger. Also, he passed away in 1988. Rest in peace. I love the villain Goldfinger. He was brilliant. The movie was brilliant. The plot was brilliant. He was a mastermind. This is a brilliant mastermind. And of course, Richard Maybaum and Paul Deacon, they both wrote the screenplay. It was brilliant story, brilliant. Die Hard The Vengeance, not that movie behind me, Die Hard, the third movie, is also, which is set about Fort Knox, which they stole, which the German terrorists steal the gold from Fort Knox. In this movie, Goldfinger wants to blow up all the gold, so that he's the only one that has gold and gets triple profits. It's a brilliant mastermind. Gary Probe's best performance, in my opinion. Honor Blackman, she as Pussy Galore, which we see Pussy Galore, great, best performance. She quit the character, I wrote down, Kathy Gale on the Avengers, only to be in this movie. She quit that character because she really enjoyed filming with Sean Connery, the film scenes, and she quit that character to be in this movie to play Pussy Galore. Best decision she ever did. This is one of the best Bond girls with Honey Rider, Ursula Andress, in my opinion, Shirley Eaton, I already mentioned it. This Shirley Eaton, she's still the actress, still alive. She's great, like I said, she's most enduring image of cinematic history. As murderer Jill Masterson, she's painted all gold. That's so epic. Yes, that's epic. She's been all painted gold. That's so epic in this movie. Just the cast is beautiful cast. The characters are so great. Harold Sakata, Sojop, one of the best villains. Also, he passed away 1982. Rest in peace. He was so great. He was a pure badass. Like I already mentioned, that he's a cool villain. He wears he wears a Sandringham hat with a sharpened steel rim, and he's using as a little weapon in the style of Chakram, a sharpened steel rim, a hat, which is so great, so iconic. The villains are so great in this movie, Master, brilliant. This movie is brilliant, and of course Martin Benson played Solo. He was the one that was shot by Old Job with silencer, and then his car has been crashed. And of course, Ted Linder also passed away in 1992. He was Felix Leiter. For one point, Jack Lord supposed to return to play Felix Leiter, which he played Felix Leiter, Dr. No, but he rejected. He did not want to be in this movie. Budget for this movie was $3 million, but worldwide was only $51 million. Box office was $125 million, which was great. I think they sold 30,000 tickets for this movie. Thunderball surpassed Goldfinger, but yeah, it's 57 years old movie. And the reason why it's so great is not only the music score by John Barry, but car Aston Martin DB5, which already said is built with smoke screen. A car can throw a co-driver's seat out of the car, and the revolving license plate. The car has also other applications like 30 caliber machine guns, tire shredding blade, oil smoke, and water emitters. That's so great. The car last time I saw was in Skyfall. Yes, the same car, and which for the first time Am was driving in the car, in the Austin Martin the car, and Bond says he wants to choke her out, but yeah, it was in Austin Martin was also the car was later in Skyfall, which I really love that, Skyfall. Um, yeah, Goldfinger. I mean, it's such a classic, such a badass movie. Such a classic badass movie. Um, I think I already did said almost everything. Operation Grand Slam. I mean, I love Goldfinger to death. It's my personal favorite James Bond movie. My favorite Sean Connery movie. The second favorite is You Only Live Twice. But for 1964, 57 years old movie, great. I mean, it has action. It's a rated movie. It's a pure badass movie. James Bond. I mean, Sean Connery is the best Bond ever. I agree with everyone who says that because he's the best. But Goldfinger is quintessential best Bond. My favorite Bond. My second favorite Bond ever. I mean, the villains so great. I mean, Guy Hamilton, best direction. He's so directed, so great. So great villains, It's just everything but this movie works, I mean, I love this movie to death. I mean, whatever to say about this classic that is already said in my review. Yeah, I apologize for going away because I forgot to roll down, the singer who was singing the beautiful song, beautiful song, Goldfinger, Golden Finger, the man, his touch, just love that beautiful, iconic song, the best Bond movie, which I love that. Well, that's my movie review on Goldfinger. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing to my video. And the next review is gonna be Thunderball. Take care. See you. I'm out. Peace.